Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Stephen A. Smith caught lying on Kawhi Leonard again on TV. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community we created, a place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, so many other cool things. If you guys are interested in that, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below. And also make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges. So first of all, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, you do Stephen A. Smith videos. Why are you talking about Stephen A. Smith? You know why? Because it's our channel. So instead of worrying about what other people are doing with their businesses, go start your own business and do your own business. Enough with the recommendations. We don't need the recommendations. We don't need your content strategy. If you guys were so good at creating content, you'd have your own channel and you'd be making millions of dollars. So for the people that are asking all of those questions, a very simple solution. One, don't tell us what to do. And two, just go create your own channel. That's simple. We don't need your feedback. Nobody asks you. It's like you're walking into Apple. Why are y'all still making Apple phones? Like, how is that your business? It's not your company. So stop recommending what you think people should do with their money and their time and their business. Like, makes no sense. If you don't enjoy the content, simply don't watch. Period. End of story. That's simple. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. This topic, for those of you who don't know what Dreamerspro Max is, as I said, we talk about basketball content topics and so many other things as well. And I want to give a special shout out to one of our community members. His name is Mark Law. He's one of our community members on there, and I think he's also a member on our channel, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to give all of the credit to Mark Law in our community for this one, because he's the one that actually came up with this topic, and I just saw it today. I overlooked it. So I want to give a shout out to Mark Law. We appreciate you bringing this topic to our attention, because we completely missed it. So this video is, I'm going to give you a direct shout out for this video and give you the credit for this video. So let me just say that. Let me get to Stephen A. Smith quickly for a second here. Stephen A. Smith has a problem. He has a problem. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most egotistical, petty people I have ever seen in my life. For a man that's over 50 years old, you are truly petty. And he holds vendettas against people for no apparent reason. When I say Stephen A. Smith's ego is out of control, people think I'm joking. Stephen A. Smith's ego has run amok. Y'all remember when I said Stephen A. Smith is always hating on Kawhi Leonard? Some of y'all, whoever Stephen A. Smith doesn't like, or whoever doesn't come and kiss the ring, he destroys you. He threatens you. He did it to Kevin Durant. Now he's doing it to Kawhi. You remember he threatened KD. You know, I'm not the one you want to make an end. He said that on TV about Kevin freaking Durant. In the grand scheme of things, who the hell is Stephen A. Smith in the grand scheme of things compared to KD? Literally, in the grand scheme of things. Are we even serious? His new thing is hating on Kawhi. We've documented this on numerous occasions. Numerous occasions we've documented this. But this one today shocked me. I've always said that Stephen A. Smith cannot stand Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard will not give him the time of day. Stephen A. Smith is like the guy I saw. There's a video of a guy I saw somewhere in the States. Some clown dude. And these dudes, they be like this. He's like the guy I saw that went to try to ask a girl for her phone number. The girl rejected him. Instead of him taking it on the chin and moving on, he pulled out a weapon on her. It's like, son, how sensitive are you? It hurt that bad. Your ego is that fragile. That's what's happening with Stephen A. Smith and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard doesn't even give Stephen A. Smith the time of the day. And Stephen A. Smith, because of his ego, is so mad. He can't understand it. Because he's friends with Jordan, the big wig in the sports media industry. So who's Kawhi Leonard to not want to interview me? There was an interview. There was a soundbite of Kawhi. I think after he was like, I'm not even on social media. I had no idea we were taking criticism. I didn't even know what criticism. And they showed Stephen A. Smith's face. He looked hurt. He was like, it's like, yeah, all of this stuff you've been doing is not affecting this guy. You can't reach him. It's not affecting him. Sorry. But this one that I saw was the last straw for me. Let me tell you what I just saw. After the Suns won game 2 in Phoenix, they beat the Clippers with that tip-in shot. Kudos to them. Great shot. They won the game. There was some videos circulating of Chris Paul in the locker room, FaceTiming with his teammates, cheering with them. Stephen A. Smith, with his foolish self, was on there, and we're not going to play the video because we don't own it. We're going to play the audio for you. Mike Wilbon says, Stephen A. Smith, Chris Paul doing it, and then Stephen A. Smith with his foolish self jumps up and says, "But the Clippers, they have Kawhi Leonard." So, a matter of fact, before I go too far, take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith said in this. Just take a listen to it.
Chris Paul is the reason that
Absolutely.
is that when you see the end of the games with Chris Paul, you wonder why he's on the game and why he's on the floor in a 20-point game, and he's working plays with Ayton. This went on for months,
right?
And so he and Cameron Payne played with the intellect and the spirit of Chris Paul and their own talent.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But can I ask you a question, Mike Wilbon? Can I ask you a question? With Scott Van Pelt on his show, listening to us right now, can I ask this question? Chris Paul is a leader. Chris Paul is a floor general still in search of his first title. The leader of the Clippers, the star at the very least, is a two-time champion and a two-time NBA Finals MVP in Kawhi Leonard. So if Chris Paul is capable of having that kind of influence, well, where's Kawhi Leonard? How come you ain't on the cell phone cheering him on?
Is he that kind of leader? Is he that kind of leader?
No. Clearly not.
That's never been his role. That's never been the role that he has.
That's my point.
Now, in that soundbite, Stephen A. Smith is saying, but if the Clippers, I don't understand, they have a two-time champion, a two-time Finals MVP, right? Why isn't Kawhi Leonard doing that? Why is he the one FaceTiming his team, communicating with his team? And Mike Wilbon says, you think Kawhi Leonard is that type of leader? And Stephen A. Smith, oh yeah, no, he's not. Kawhi Leonard wouldn't do that. You know the problem with that? That's a bold-faced lie. Stephen A. Smith said that Kawhi Leonard doesn't communicate with his team like the same way Chris Paul did. So before I go too far, I'm going to expose Stephen A. Smith for the clown that he truly is. And I hope Stephen A. Smith sees it. I hope some of his family members see this so you can see how foolish of a family member you got. Before I go too far, I'm going to play some audios from you, from some of the players and the coach of the Clippers, talking about how Kawhi Leonard is always FaceTiming and calling the team and communicating and talking to them about things that he's seen on the court. Take a listen to this.
Hey, Ty, you had said yesterday that Kawhi has remained very engaged, even talking to the coaches at halftime of Game 6. I'm wondering, in the last 12 hours, have you talked to him or do you FaceTime him? And what those conversations are like? What does Kawhi see when he's watching at home, and how does he help?
What about the last 40 minutes, Owen?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he stays in. Yeah, I talked to him about 40 minutes ago. He just stays engaged, likes to know the adjustments we're going to make. He likes to know the game plan. So when he's watching the game, he can understand what we're doing good and what we're doing bad. Let the coaches know, let the players know. And, he's very engaged. Even though he's back home rehabbing, he's still locked in and tuned in.
What is the benefit you guys get from keeping him and having him stay involved with the game plan when, let's say, he may not come back for a little bit?
Well, just being able to hold guys accountable, talking to guys, talking to the players, what we need to do better, what he sees. And if he knows the game plan, then he can definitely do that. So, he's talking to the guys every day as well, not just the coaching staff. So he's very engaged, and that's what you need from your players. He's locked in and still in tune.
And Zoo, Ty and Reggie were talking about how engaged Kawhi has been just in knowing the strategies, talking to the coaches about what's going on before every game, so that when he talks to you guys, he knows what he's talking about with his observations. How often do you guys hear from him, and how does that happen? Does he FaceTime you guys? Does he text you guys? What does he say?
I mean, it's all the time. When we were in LA, he was back in locker room. He talked to us before the game at the halftime. He was talking to us about adjustments. Even the game before that, he went to Utah, but he went back, and he's involved. He's texting us in the group chat, and he's just he's a big part of this team, and it's not like he's done. He's involved, and he's trying to help in a bunch of different ways.
Hey, Luke, Zoo, Ty, and Reggie were talking about how engaged Kawhi has been, even though he's been out kind of talking to you guys and staying involved with the strategy. So he knows what he's talking about when he talks to you guys. I was wondering, what is the communication like with Kawhi, with the players? And when do you hear from him? And what does he usually kind of say, or what's his insight?
Yeah, obviously, we miss Kawhi a lot on the floor. He's such a huge presence for us, obviously one of the best players in the NBA. So, yeah, it stinks that he's not out there with us. But like you guys mentioned and like the other guys mentioned, he's behind the scenes. He's always working, always talking to us, sending us texts. I know when we were in LA, he's in the huddles, in the locker room, at halftime. He's just always involved, always wants to make his voice heard, and we listen when he talks. And he's our leader, he's our guy, and obviously he's doing everything he can right now to get healthy. But yeah, like everybody else said, he's behind the scenes, making sure that we're staying ready and staying locked in on what we need to do. And he believes in us, just like everybody believes in each other. So, we definitely listen when he talks to us.
Now, I know sound bites. You hear the coaches and the players talking about how Kawhi Leonard is always in constant communication with his team. So help me understand something. If it is true that Kawhi Leonard is in fact in communication with his teammates and his coaches and all of this stuff, why did Stephen A. Smith come out there and say that? Why did he lie on Kawhi Leonard? Why did this guy lie on Kawhi? You know why he did? Because Stephen A. Smith is a very foolish person. He is what you call a hate. He's so bruised by the fact that Kawhi Leonard ain't trying to mess with him that he's willing to go out there and lie on the guy. This is the person that we got talking about basketball and talking about sports. And he wonders why people like Kwame Brown are sick of him. He's clueless as to the reason why because he's so caught up in his own bubble, he can understand why people can't. This is his life. And I'm a Kawhi Leonard fan, so I'm catching up to these things. So imagine all the players that I'm not fans of that he's done this to. For what? Just to have something sensational to say in that moment? Just to have some shock value? Kawhi Leonard. And you said that, but you lied. This is irresponsible. Who goes around lying on athletes? Making a complete living, earning $6, $7, $8 million a year doing this. It's unbelievable. That's Stephen A. Smith for you. This is Stephen A. Smith. This is Stephen A. Smith. I hope one of his family members sees this video. This is him. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.